Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our Sports Recruits 101. My name is Zach Craig. I'm a senior customer success specialist here at Sports Recruits. I was a student athlete at Oklahoma State University, a part of the football program, and then I also, prior to Sports Recruits, worked in the University of North Carolina in Rucker University's football recruiting department. About the agenda, we'll have 5 different topics, and it'll end with some Q&A depending on how much time we have left. So anytime, feel free to ask any questions, and I'll get to as many as I can at the end of today's webinar. Let's go ahead and get started with the importance of online exposure. So here you'll see our Sports Recruits network. We have over 500,000 student athletes that use Sports Recruits and have profiles, 1,500 plus clubs, over 60,000 college coaches, and over 500 partnered events and showcases. This creates our Sports Recruits network that each party and each individual use to assist and help in each of their recruiting journeys and processes. So about your profile. So all of you have either have recently created a sports recruit profile either through your club or as an individual athlete and family. What's so important about your profile is making sure it's built out completely. So that would be academic information, athletic information, uploading video, that'd be highlights, full game footage. We'll talk more about that in the next couple of slides. But it's so important to make sure to build out your profile as soon as possible, because as soon as this account is created for you, college coaches can then go to your profile and view your academic, athletic, and video. So it's really important to get all the information added. So you don't want a college coach to go there and there not be any information because your account was created and you wait a couple of weeks or a month to get that added. You want to get this information added as soon as possible. So again, that college coaches can get a true evaluation of who you are as a student, athlete, and a person. Okay, so next is building your target list of schools. So we know that, when you start this process, you may not know where you want to go. You might have a couple ideas of schools that you have interest in, but it can be a little bit of overwhelming opportunity or situation. So we totally understand that. What we always recommend is aim for 20 or 30 schools to start with, so you have a wide net of schools that you have interest in. And again, there's a fluid list that can always change depending on how your interests change throughout the next 4 years. If you're a freshman, for example. But what I always recommend is these 5 categories to think about as you are building your target list of schools. So that first would be academics. So think about majors, degrees. Are these schools that you're looking at and that you're favoriting match with what you currently want to do? Now that can change at any moment, but does that match what you're currently interested, in on today and in the coming months? Athletically, the level of competition, how that program is, what division and conference that program is in. All these things really matter depending on your skill set and what your goals and aspirations are athletically. Geographically, distance from home, climate, is it cold? Is it hot? Is it in the West Coast? Is it in the East Coast? Is it in the South? You wouldn't think that would matter, but it really does matter when you want your friends or families to, watch you compete and watch you play. Some people are okay and are fine with flying across country and whatnot. Some people want to be close in the same state or in a neighbor state. So all that, it may not seem that big of a deal at the moment, but that could be a bigger, opportunity in the future once you get that school and start playing. Socially is also really important. So when you're not practicing, when you're not in the classroom, you're not playing on the field or court, how do you fit in, socially with the demographics and everything that goes with just being a normal student at that university? Those are really important, so that you feel comfortable, feel welcome, and feel accepted at that university or that college. And then finances are always important. Obviously, with the NIL, how much would you potentially get with that? What kind of financial aid does that school have? And then what kind of scholarship offer would be a full ride depending on your sport? Is it a half scholarship? Is it a quarter scholarship? All these questions are really important as you get closer to committing to a school, because you want to see how much financial, burden or how much financial support you might need to go and get a degree and compete at that university. So again, these are the 5 things I recommend as you start building out your target list of schools. Now, these categories kind of match with our school search tool, which is under the schools tab. There you'll see you can filter by location, academics, majors, athletics, all this criteria. Again, this all pertains to your sport and your gender. So if you're a softball athlete and they don't have softball at their school, they wouldn't appear in this because again, that sport doesn't exist yet for that university or that college. So again, everything is for your specific sport. But again, what's really great about this is that you can add all this different criteria that fits what you're currently looking for, and then really zoom in on those results, dive into those schools and see if they fit what you want to do academically, athletically, location-wise. It's just a really easy way to learn a lot about schools that you may not have heard about before and see if they're a good fit for you. What's also a really cool feature that we added a few years ago is our roster needs. These are roster needs that college coaches must add by themselves. So you might notice as you're digging through that tool, okay, well, this school doesn't have their roster needs posted. That's because that school maybe had just removed them or is currently updating them. So every school may not have them at the exact same time, but to continue to check the roster needs filter. And what's really cool and really great about this is that it's not going to guarantee a scholarship or that you're going to commit to that program. But what it does show is that they're up to date roster needs, and they show what athletes, what positions they're looking to recruit, what recruiting class are they currently trying to recruit, do they have any GPA requirements, and if that information matches what you have added to your profile, then you'll see that you could be a full match, a potential match of a couple of them match, but not all of them. Again, it's just a great way to see what schools might have interest in you just based on the information that you've added to your profile. So that's why, again, it's so important to build out your full profile because that's going to help you match with these schools that have already added their roster needs. Okay, so we talked about how to kind of start building your profile list. Talk about the or your school favorites list. Talked about the roster needs. Now we'll talk about once you've favored a school, and that would be by clicking the heart icon within the school search tool. Within the schools tab on the left side, you'll see where it says favorites. That is where you will see this example right here on the right of what your favorites list currently looks like. At any time, you can remove a school from your favorites list by clicking that heart icon again. That will remove that favorite from that school. And then what's really cool about our favorites list right here is that you can kind of break them down in 3 different topics. So you have the rank where you can easily drag and drop depending on that is my first choice, second, third, fourth choice at this moment. We also have categories. So a fit, a reach, a safety school fit, perfect fit for you as a student or as an athlete. Reach, maybe the academics are a little bit harder to get into, so you got to make sure you get your GPA or test scores up, or they might just be, athletically, it might be the number 1 team in the country for your sport. So not that you can't go perform there if you have that interest with the school, but it might be a reach just because they have so many different athletes that they can pick from because they're the best program in the country for their sport. And then safety, I always summarize that as just kind of like a fallback plan if you have a few schools above that. But hey, this school, I know I'm good enough to play there. I've had conversations with the coaches, or I just believe I can play there. And hey, my grades are definitely good enough to go be a student there. So again, it's just 3 ways to kind of stay organized with your favorites list. And then last is that last contact, which is really cool. Once you send a message to the messaging system that we'll talk about here in the later slides, you'll be able to see the date of the last time you contacted that school. It's just a great way to stay up to date and be able to see, okay, I haven't reached out to the school in over a month. I need to follow up with them and share my new transcript or share my new highlight reel with them. And again, it's just a great way for you to stay up to date, make sure you're reaching out to these college coaches and staying organized with the schools that you have interest in during your recruiting process. Okay, now we will talk about video in recruiting. So we get this question a lot. Why is video so important? Video is so important because it's going to be one of the most likely the first opportunity that a college staff or coach evaluates you as a student athlete. Now, obviously, they could go watch you in person, go watch you at an event or a game, but most of the time they're already doing that live viewing and evaluation after they've already seen your highlight videos and whatnot on your profile. So that's why it's so important to make that strong first impression by having a high quality, great highlight reels on your profile that again showcase who you are as a student athlete and highlight your best, all your strengths. If that's speed or quickness, that's physical strength, whatever that is, to help those college coaches get a true evaluation to see if you fit what they're looking for based on their roster needs. And then lastly, that third bullet right here, continue to add new and updated highlight reels and videos throughout your high school career. So that could be freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. This helps the college coach, really follow your journey as an athlete and see, okay, oh, well, from freshman to junior, they grew 4 inches. Hey, from freshman to junior, they gained 10 pounds of muscle and got a lot faster just based on the video. So there's just so many ways that coaches are looking for specific little things and evaluating athletes. So it's just really important to get that high quality footage on your profile, but then continue to update that footage to showcase your athletic ability and just reaffirm these college coaches that you're not just a one-hit wonder. You've been doing this over and over and over again with your athletic ability. Okay, so types of videos. We all talked about, why it's so important, why you need to get it on your profile. These are a few different types of videos we recommend adding. We just added the pinned playlist recently to our platform. What this is you can go to your video tab, upload video to your account, and then once you go to the playlist, you can cut those clips out, like your highlight clips. You can add isolation effects on the highlight. You can add a description of what exactly is going on in that play, offense, defense, anything you want to put in that description to help the college coach understand what you're trying to showcase in that. You can put your jersey number as well. And you can add as many of those clips that you want within the playlist. Again, this is just a way for college coaches to get a very easy, quick evaluation to capture their attention, like it says, and get that good evaluation of you. Highlight reel is similar. Any highlight reels you already have created, upload those to your profile so college coaches can view and evaluate them. Again, this is a variety of your skill set to show your top performance as a student athlete. We also have a highlight reel editor within our video section. So you can also use that to have your full game film and then crop out those plays to make a very quick and efficient highlight reel. Skill videos, pretty straightforward. Any skill or technique that you have that's not related to like game film. So that could be going through drill work, depending on your sport. That could be you in the weight room. That could be going through any kind of speed drills. You just want to showcase your best ability and best technique and really kind of zoom in on that so college coaches can see not just a full game. We'll talk about here in this live coverage, not as a highlight, but also all your skill videos. Again, all we're trying to do is make this picture of who you are as a student athlete from A to Z. And then live footage, I always recommend to add at least one full game per year, like from freshman through senior if you can. This just allows a college coach to watch a full game like they're there in person to kind of see how you start and how you end a game. But just make sure that game, again, is similar to your highlight reel, the best possible game you have. If you're a defensive player, it's the best defensive of tape a full game you have, or as an offense player, hey, you had 4 goals that game. Showcase that. So of course, college coach is going to see you play the whole game. We're also going to see those 4 goals while they're watching that full game. Okay, so this is what our video library looks like. That's within our video tab. And we understand how important video is in the recruiting process. So that's why we allow an unlimited amount of video to be uploaded to any athlete's account. Because we understand, okay, they're going to a lot of showcases, depending, it could be it's a 4-year journey from freshman to senior year. So we don't want to limit the amount of video that you can upload to your account. We also have a connect video feature. So if you guys have Sideline HD accounts, Ball Time, or NLV, you can link your accounts to SportsRecruits. So any film you upload to those accounts will automatically transfer over to SportsRecruits accounts. So you're continuing to get new footage that you can share with college coaches. We also allow embedding from YouTube, Huddle, and Vimeo. Basically, that means you can go to those platforms, copy the web browser link when you're watching that video, and then just paste it into your SportsRecruits account so college coaches can easily find it and view it. It will look the exact same for a college coach. The embed just makes it a little bit easier. So instead of uploading a video file, you're just sharing a video link. So a little bit easier, but again, upload or embed, you can do either one. And the last thing right here, like you see in that example, just make sure once that video is how you want it to, as good as you want it to look and looks perfect in your opinion, make sure it's green and visible so you can share it to your profile and it is viewable on your profile for college coaches to view and evaluate. If it's gray, like on the example in the bottom right, it will only live in your video library and won't be visible on your profile. So just want to make sure to point that out. Okay, so we talked about everything with video, build on your profile. Now we're talking about contacting college coaches. So on the right, you'll see there's a template that, for example of a template that you could use if you're reaching out to a college coach wanting to share new videos that you've uploaded to your profile. I'm all for using templates, but it's just really important to make sure that you can kind of see little sections that are grayed out. Just make sure you are making it personalized and making sure you're not accidentally mentioning the wrong school or wrong coach. We know athletes like to send a lot of messages. That's great to be as proactive as possible, but just make sure to proofread these, one or two times to make sure your all the information in that message is for that coaching staff in that school that you're sending that message to. A few reasons to message college coaches. We get a lot of questions about, hey, what should I say? How should I do it? When should I do it? Here's a few reasons. Introduction, again, most likely the first time you're going to reach out to a coaching staff, you're just introducing who you are as a student and athlete as a person, and you're just sharing the interests that you have in their program and in their school. Before and after events is really important. Before, this allows you to tell that coach, what events you're going to so that maybe they can go and attend that if they're in the area. After events, following up, thanking them if they did go to the event, or just telling them how you performed in that event. Any new highlights, obviously, that you upload, reach out to those college coaches, make them aware, ask them to evaluate, give you feedback. Just a great way to get that evaluation from those college coaches. Any new transcripts, any new test scores that are, at the level they need to be. So obviously, if they're not where you want them to be, it's okay to hold off by adding those or reach out to college coaches. But if your test scores and transcripts are high enough and you feel really comfortable about those scores, definitely reach out to those college coaches, let them know, because that's just going to check the box off for, okay, they're eligible to get into our school. Now let's talk more about, on the field, on the court evaluation. In-season updates, obviously that's similar to, updated highlight reels, anything you have in the classroom, on the playing field, MVP of a tournament, all conference academic, all conference athletic, anything that showcases you in a positive manner is a great reason to reach out to a college coach. And then lastly, asking a coach for more info about a program. What I want to highlight here is don't make it just a very easy, generic, hey, I really like your program, would love to learn more about it. In that message, explain what you are intrigued with their school or their program or their coaching staff, and ask questions that wouldn't be just ask questions that would be very genuine instead of being a question that you could just easily find on a Google or on their athletic website. That will increase the chances of the college coach viewing it, seeing it's really genuine, and then having that reply back and that conversation starting. Okay, so we talked about what to say to college coaches, when to say to college coaches. Now we'll talk about using our messaging system within your account. So when you see the messaging tab on your account, that will take you to our messaging system. It's a really great feature. I really like it because it just takes away all of the time and effort you need to go find all the emails for these coaches, because we already pre-populated it. So you'll see right there in that to section, instead of adding emails, you just type out the name of the school that you want to send a message to. The coaches, again, for your sport, will appear in that drop down for that specific program and that school. Add all the coaches you want to send a message to, add a subject line, add the body of the message, and press send. Once you press send, that will go to their general, .edu inbox, and it will go into their SportsRecruits college coach messaging inbox as well. So there's two ways they can see it. What I want to highlight right here is right there. You see that blue link at the bottom left. That is a embedded profile link for that specific athlete. If a college coach clicks on that, that will take them directly to your profile. So you really don't need to worry about adding a bunch of links to a transcript or video or anything like that, because all they need to do is click on that link. That will take that college coach to your profile, and then anything that they click on, you'll be notified via text and email of when that view took place and which school viewed your profile or viewed your video, for example. And that's right here. I want to follow up with this slide as well. College coach views. Again, anytime a college coach views your profile, video, transcripts, anything like that, you'll get notified via text and email of what school, what did they view, and then a timestamp of when that took place, so you can track all these engagements. It's just a really efficient and great way for you guys to stay on top of and on track of who is engaging with your profile. Is it a school on your favorites list? Is it a school that you haven't heard of yet, you want to learn more about? And then not only will you get notified, but you'll also be able to see all of these views within your activity tab. Just make sure to update it update the filters to colleges and views, and that's when you'll be able to see any view you ever had, from most recent to least recent. Okay, and then last slide right here. These are our sports recruits resources. We have our knowledge base. This is anything, any questions you have about any of our features, about anything on the platform. We have tons and tons and tons of how-to articles and videos that will answer any of those questions that you guys have about the platform in general, or about your account as well. Webinars, so we have our Sports Recruits 101 and then two recruiting webinars per month. So if you want to do all three per month, I recommend that because you're just going to learn. Maybe not the Sports Recruiter one because you guys are already doing this, but the other two per month that are more sport and recruiting specific that will help you guys in the recruiting process. Then we also have our recruiting resource center and blog post. These are just recruiting advice, best practice tips, current events that will just kind of help and guide you guys during your recruiting process. And again, you can find all of these resources under the More tab, where you see webinar, blogs, the help as well. And then our email for our help desk is help@sportsrecruits.com. So any questions, concerns you guys have about the platform, about any features, any feedback, please reach out. I'm a part of that customer success team. So we're always happy to help you guys and help answer any questions you guys have throughout your recruiting journey. Okay, that wraps up the agenda. Now we have a few minutes to do some Q&A. So if you haven't added any yet, feel free to add some. Again, it's all anonymous, so no one will see the questions. But I'll be able to see them and I can answer those as we go through. But again, as you guys are filling that out, I just want to share that you guys will receive a copy of this webinar within 24 hours. So again, if you had someone in your family that couldn't watch it, or you had a friend or a teammate that wanted to watch it but couldn't make it, just let them know, hey, within 24 hours, it will be on our webinar page for them to go. And everyone who registered for it will also receive a recording of this within 24 hours. But okay, let me go to the Q&A section and pull up these responses. Again, feel free to ask any questions about anything we went over. More than happy to, go in depth about any questions you guys have about your account or about the recruiting, questions individually. Okay, so I see a few start coming in. I'll go ahead and get started so I can get to as many as I can. This one is, can we switch an email on my profile? Answer is yes. You can easily do that by going to the profile tab. And on the left side, that little toolbar, it'll say My Family. Click that, and you can easily either switch a athlete email and a parent email, or you can just go in and edit the athlete email or remove any parent guardian email that's currently listed on there. But you can easily change and update any email on the athlete account by again going to the profile tab and then the My Family section. That's a good question. Okay, next question right here. This is a good question, though. So how do I see more information about the financial aid aspect for the schools? The best way to do that is go to the school search tool, and then once that school, and then type in that school, or if that school just appears in your search results. If you click on that individual, any of the drop downs that appear in your results, that will take you to the school's landing page. And that will have all the academic and athletic information about that school. We already pre-populated that. And then we'll also have a link to each individual school, so you can go there and click and even have a deeper dive on that, that .edu school website and learn more about the financial aid, any of the admission questions, all that will be there. But again, you can find that from within the schools tab. That was a really good question. Okay, I got some more. Thank you guys for sending these in. Let me just read over a couple of them. Yes. So this question was, are videos taken by, friends and family on the sideline appropriate to upload? Yes. Again, we know how some teams might have their own video person or video member that will go and record all the practices and games. If your team doesn't have that, it's totally fine for you guys to use a video camera. All the iPhone and Google phones are so great with their cameras now that you can easily go in there and just use your phone to record the games if you're close enough. But again, as long as you can see the athlete clearly with the camera, then that footage is more than good enough to upload to your account. Okay, let me keep going through these. That was a great question. So, how long do my videos stay on my account, even after graduation? Yes. So, first, your account and your profile will exist for as long as you want it to. So, even if you graduate and you want to come back in a year because you're transferring, you can easily log into your account and still have all your information saved, all your videos saved. At any time, if you do want your account deactivated, just reach out again to our help desk, help@sportsrecruits.com. We'll deactivate your account within our database. But again, we will never remove your account unless you ask us to remove your account. All your information will be saved from the last previous login that you had, even if that's years from now. That's a really good question. Okay. Let's see here. Going to get a few more of these questions before we log off today. Okay, this is a good question. When adding schools to my favorites list, will that steer or turn away other schools for that athlete? Answer is no, because only the people who can log into the athlete's account. So that's the athlete email, the parent guardian email. Only you guys can see the favorites list on that account. College coaches don't have access to that information. Anything on your account except what you put on the profile college coaches can't view. So anything you have in your video library, anything you have in your messaging system, your activity feed, anything in the schools tab, that is only for your eyes only who owns that account. So if you favorite, rival schools, those college coaches are not going to know that you favorite both those schools. That's just a way for you guys to stay organized during the recruiting process. But that's a good question. We actually get that one quite often. So I'm glad we had that one today. Okay, have time for about two or three more here, guys. Let me see. We've got a bunch here, so I make sure I get the most common question. This is a great question. So should we keep videos, should we upload videos that are junior and senior year only, or should we upload videos from freshman and sophomore year as well? Let's just say, for example, this is a junior athlete going into their senior year, and they've uploaded a lot of all their junior footage, and they're waiting for senior footage. You don't have to upload that freshman and sophomore footage if you don't want to, because college coaches, they want to see your current footage and how that projects to playing at the next level at their school. But again, kind of like we talked about that athlete journey, it's not bad if that's good footage and you're excelling very well athletically in that freshman and sophomore year, it's totally fine for you to add, hey, freshman highlight, sophomore highlight. You have your current junior highlight, and you'll have eventually your senior highlight. Again, that will show the college coach like your development and your progression. They grew 4 inches from freshman to junior year. They're definitely faster and bigger and stronger from sophomore year to junior year. That will help those college coaches get a true projection of, okay, well then what will they look like in 2 more years when they're a freshman or sophomore at our program? So again, if it's high quality footage, freshman and sophomore year, I do recommend adding that to your profile. That's a really good question. Let's see here. Okay. We have time for about one more question. This one was good. What about multi-sport athletes? Do we have to have a separate account? The answer is yes. Again, every account is specific to that sport and that gender. So let's just say you're a softball athlete, but also play volleyball. Your current softball account will only be able to interact and see all the softball college coaches and programs and schools that offer softball. If you need to have a additional sport, just reach out to us at help@sportsrecruits.com. Or you can just go to our sportsrecruits.com and then click sign up or sign in. And then you can just create using the same email that you currently have on your softball account, for example, and just select volleyball. And that will be able to, you'll still have two separate accounts because again, it's for each sport, but you can quickly link those accounts by email. So when you log in next time, you can say, hey, do you want to log into your volleyball account or do you want to log into your softball account? But again, Long answer short, yes, each sport needs to have its own account because it's sport specific. That was a really good question. Okay. Now I have time for one more. Let me see if I can get one here. Oh, this is a good question. How long should a highlight reel be? We always recommend a highlight reel to be between 2 and 3 minutes. We just recommend that because college coaches, even if you have a great highlight reel that you could fit 8 minutes, college coaches are not going to sit there for 8 minutes just because they're evaluating other athletes. They have to go practice, some teach, they got to go travel for a game. So you just want to have that short and concise highlight reel. 2 to 3 minutes is a sweet spot. Just make sure that all your highlights, your best highlights, are in the beginning compared to the end. Because if you have a 3 minute highlight, but your top 10 plays are within the first, minute, you want the college coach to see those best highlights and not miss out by not watching the whole highlight. That's a good question. Again, 2 to 3 minutes, and just front load your best quality clips within the beginning of that highlight reel. Okay, guys, that's all the time we have today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Got a lot of information. Again, you guys will get a recording of this within 24 hours. But yeah, best of luck out there in the recruiting journey, and I'll see you next time. Have a great one.